Wow. It's been almost 2 weeks since you've heard us. Like they say, how can you be missed if you don't go away? So I guess we went away for a week. This is Ron from the Ron and John podcast.
And this is John, and welcome back to Real Talk Eastern Shore.
Yes, John had been missing MIA for approximately a good 30,000 days. He came back today. So, interesting story. So, last week, Saturday, it was about, 4:30. I had done a podcast without John, and I was like, okay.
See how that worked out for you.
Yes. Well, they're about to find out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I'm like, yeah, I got this down, did it by myself, killed it, 100%. I was all in it to win it, So, I'm sitting there, I forget what I was doing. I want to say I put it on save or whatever. I was going to either export it or publish it, for Sunday, 6 a.m. So, whatever I did, I deleted the whole podcast that I had just done, which was like 46 minutes. That's with no editing and nothing. So we have a missing podcast from last week that is MIA, that is somewhere in the cyber world that I have no clue where it is. Which I guess I like to talk, so it kind of works out anyway. I just ran my mouth and went to sleep afterwards. But the worst part was, after that happened, I decided, you know what? I did one, I can do another. So I went 100% in.
And this time you'll record it.
I did record it. I recorded both of them. But this one is stuck in our cyber world. Our Ron and John podcast cyber world. So at this point in juncture, this is why we were having technical difficulties.
Because the technical guy was out of town.
Yes, and it was operator error. And I will take 100% responsibility. I know my legions of fans out there were, crying for this. I got a PM private message. They were like, I thought you were having podcasts this weekend. I was like, I'm sorry. My tech guy is not here, which it might tells me that, from now on, just wait till he's here. If I'm going to do a podcast by myself, pay for someone, because I can't do it. Like, I can do the podcast, I just can't go from after I talk and I turn it off, I can't do nothing else.
Yeah, you can do the talking, that's about it.
Yeah, that's all I'm good for anyway, you know what I mean? So, which is pretty bad anyway. But, that's what happened last week. Do apologize for any inconvenience. I know I had put it out there, I hyped it up, and literally it was a dud. It was like a firework with no fuse. So, unfortunately, that's then. Now we're together again. Which, we're happy together, I guess. Maybe happy together. But anyway, I just, I do want to apologize 100%. And, we will make it up to you because, Christmas is right around the corner. And guess what's happening on Christmas? Our podcast will drop on Christmas Day. So just remember that we'll have a Christmas special. We're not sure we do a Christmas Eve, day before, whatever. We might just do it on Christmas. All depends on how we feel, but we might just drop two in one shot. Just a little special. Merry Christmas to our legion of 3 fans and go from there. So, but so I guess it just says that I can't do it without you, 100%. Which that should make you feel good inside.
Oh, likewise, you do most of the talking, so I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much. Like someone made a comment. They were like, I was at work. And they were like, you talk like 46 minutes and your co-host talks 2. And I was like, yeah. So that's how it balanced out.
Yep.
And they were like, well, you kind of like, blend in with each other. I said, to a point, I was like, we kind of like, he's like the devil's advocate and I'm kind of just, run with it or whatever. And she was like, well, I think you guys do great, which I appreciate it, 100%. I do want to give one shout out because we gave Glenda, was that her name? Amanda, definitely give me a shout out today. Appreciate you being a loyal customer, listener out there. Thank you. Nothing but love for you. Known you for a long time, and I appreciate that more than anything. But as we're going, and maybe bake us a pie one day. That would be really nice. But hey man, I mind you throw a shot on, mind you get something out of the deal, right? So at least it's nice, for both of us to enjoy,
Mm.
But no, like I was gonna say, so how was last weekend? Because you had a very interesting and very, I guess you say, formative and learning.
Oh yeah, I had a big learning experience last week, and the reason I wasn't here, I ended up renting a trailer to load up a bunch of my in-laws' stuff that was left at their house and at their storage to take back to their new house in Virginia. Of course, it was my first time driving a trailer.
So you got your cherry pop today.
Oh,
Well, last weekend.
Last week, yeah, and not only that, it was a 12-foot trailer. It was heavy, and I kept looking at my mirrors the whole ride with the kids. It was probably 8 or 9 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bathroom breaks and everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Just
like
hitting everyone.
every seconds, I'm like yelling at the kids, shh, trying to concentrate. Going through mountains, going up and down hills. I'm like, whoa, okay. I almost gave in when I got there. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to return the trailer here.
Mm-hmm.
While I was there, they wanted an extra $300 to drop the trailer off at that location. So I'm like, never mind. I'm driving the trailer back.
So they wanted you to pay $300.
No, $440 total.
$440.
If I just drove the trailer there and dropped it off.
So my question is, how much was gas from A to B?
I only filled up once. Well, I guess twice bringing it back. I don't remember. It was like $80 each way.
So 160. So yeah, you should have brought it back regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cost saving move.
Yeah.
There you go. Especially with Christmas around the corner, you got that $80 could have went to one of the kids' toys.
Yeah.
You
Too
know?
bad they're not getting it now. I'm just
I
kidding.
don't blame you. These kids are mean.
Yeah.
They're raunchy. They're mad. I'm pretty sure they attack you every once in a while.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but that's just play.
Well, yeah, but still.
I just throw them on the couch.
Well, there you go. Okay, well, that's even then. Okay, that sounds fine. So, did you have any, close calls or anything that you realized that people drive or idiots out there? Or?
No, well, we started loading up in the morning. It was raining, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time we were done loading and started driving, the sun was out.
Sweet.
So, that was fun. The worst part is the sun was in my eye almost the whole way because I was going westbound.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sucks because it's going up.
Well, up until it went down. Then I had like 5 or 6 more hours to drive. But it was, once it got dark and we got on 66 into 81, it was clear. Like the roads were almost empty the rest of the ride. So I was careful, but I didn't have to worry so much about driving next to people, being in traffic.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure you were in, near, is it Charlottesville or something like that? Or Fredericksburg or Roanoke? Or
Yeah,
that
I had to
area?
go towards Roanoke and then just continue all the way down. It leads you all the way to like Bristol, Virginia. And then from there, you're not far from Tazewell, Virginia.
Yeah, that's the middle of nowhere. Literally, like they call us nowhere, and that's pretty much
That's
middle of nowhere. Yeah, like it's all mountains and stuff. At least that the fact that you came back in one piece is a plus. You had no serious situations that you went through.
Mhm.
Was the food good down there?
Food. We were there a day, then came back the day after. We stayed
Okay.
at their house and just helped
Oh, okay.
the parents out,
Makes
unloading
sense.
stuff.
So are they completely out of your house now?
Still got the motorcycles, but they'll be back to get those.
Oh, I'm pretty sure of
Yeah.
that. I'm 100% sure with that. Yeah, I totally understand it. That's something that, they're big about, the motorcycles. So, it's not even summer yet, what I
No.
mean? So, but, they'll probably get riding season probably in, April or May, in that range.
Probably.
So
Yeah.
they'll be back, at least for Christmas, maybe pick them up. Who
Oh, yeah,
knows?
they will.
So that's a good thing, So, you did enjoy that. Did you had to take off on that Friday or
I took off Monday.
Monday?
And then drove back, got back around midnight, went back to work Tuesday because I had to return the trailer by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And the trailer was East New Market. That's where I drop it off and then straight to work.
So that was on that corner, wasn't it?
Yep.
50 and, what is it, 2, 3?
Mount Holly Road.
Yeah,
whatever.
Mount Holly Road, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times. I just ride by it or sit there in the middle of the parking lot, look stupid, or eat my lunch. That's if I'm out on the road.
No, but funny story. When I got back, I was trying to find a place to park the trailer. and I'm just without having to back in because first time driving a trailer, I know left is right, right is left
Yeah.
as you're backing up, but I just didn't want people to see me, so someone asked, "Hey, yeah, you can go ahead and park over there." I'm like, "Hey, you want to do it?"
Wow. So
Like,
So-
first time, can you mind? Yeah, sure, no problem.
you weren't 100% sure. You did
Oh,
the
I
right
knew I
move.
couldn't. I probably could have done it, but it would have just taken way more energy than I felt like
Yeah.
like I had.
Well, when in doubt, make someone else do it, right? That's what I was always taught. That's the best
Yeah.
way to do it. You don't get yourself in trouble. You don't hit anything because I'm pretty sure it's on your insurance. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you hit something, so then your insurance goes up. Then you got to pay extra. That completely sucks, though. I
Yeah.
mean, so yeah, I mean, literally, like I've been working 6 days. Actually, been off, on Saturdays. Thank God. More or less relaxed. Work's been it's weird because I thought it'd be a lot more stressful, but it's not been too stressful. A lot of our stuff is coming in later, so now like my drivers are usually out by 12, get out to like 1:32,
Huh.
and it makes it very difficult because you're only allowed to run certain amount of routes,
Right.
and when you push that narrative, they look at you like, you're giving me as much as you gave me at 12 o'clock, but you expect me to get it done going out at 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a nightmare, kind of. But, I mean, it's Christmas season.
Yeah. So what
Right.
you're just getting your deliveries late, and before so you can load them up on their trucks.
So what happens is, we get our freight from the plane and a truck from JFK. So when it goes to Baltimore, they separate it and then bring it to over here in Milford. So with that being said, it's been happening where a plane's been late or the truck's been missing or like it comes out late, stuff. And also there's weather over there too.
Right.
We can't help what Cincinnati's going on, or JFK's running through.
Right.
But I mean, they won't get the freight till like 10:30. So now I got drivers in at work at 11 o'clock doing absolutely nothing for 2.5, 3 hours getting paid, and then they're looking at me like, you expect me to get this many stops off in this amount of time when I can't get them off barely when it's 12 o'clock when I leave? Man, I gotta do what I gotta do,
Right.
But they've been pretty well. I mean, I can't say nothing bad really. I mean, every once in a while you get a little tiff here because people are getting a little angry about it. But I mean, I haven't dealt with too much. Like last Christmas, it was rough.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're running. I want to say we're running over last Christmas, as in employees to take freight out. Probably, I would say probably about 22-24% throughout the week. So, if you got, just say you got, we were running 18 routes, we're probably running 22, 21. Don't sound like a lot, but, it adds up. You figure each route sometimes taking 40, 50. So 4 routes, that's 160 times 5. That's, 800-900 stops that wouldn't get out till Saturday or Sunday.
Now, do you have more people to drive this year than you did last year?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We have. So my opinion is, I think we have a better set of drivers. Not saying because like, I train them all. No, like I've trained a lot. Like literally, I've trained everyone pretty much till this last core that came through. And to be honest with you, maybe this tells me that I'm not a good trainer. Our last core of drivers are really good. They're pretty solid. I can give them as much as I want. And they're like, okay. And I got a couple that'll stay out till 9, 10 o'clock. And no cares. Now, I tell them, if you're in a rural area like the country, don't do that because people are asleep after around 8:15. They're settling in. You don't want to go up to someone's house. It's got a long lane. They're not expecting this freight to come there that late.
Right.
They might come out with a gun, and we don't want that. There's some other neighborhoods that are in, I would say, in towns that I don't want them to deliver to because they are bad areas. But I'll also say if they're in a development, hey, if you're in development, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Or you're in town and it's okay, you'll be fine. You can go out that little bit extra time. But like some places are just rough.
It's just not as safe.
No, I don't. I really don't want to deal with a situation where I have to go and find out what the hell went on because my driver did something he was supposed to do, but the person that did whatever was not supposed to do, and that makes it very difficult because then it becomes a question of safety.
Right.
and I don't want them to, ever feel like they're not safe. And to be honest with you, the ones that do it late are usually the guys that I really don't have to worry if they're going to be safe because they're big dudes. Like they're that kind of people. Like they don't care. They're there to get a job done.
Right.
They want to make their money and they like the overtime. So push them out. Just push them. And I mean, from like I said last year, like the drivers were good, but I think these are better drivers per se. They listen more fluently. They're not stuck in their old ways. We still have room of improvement. There's no doubt about it. Not with those guys, but some others. But, overall, it's made it so much easier. And, I mean, with us having two fractions, we got the Delaware side, which is connected to the side over that does Harford and Cecil County. Last year, there was only like 4 or 5 drivers over there. Now they got like 8 or 9 alone. So, like, it's just the build is still going, and the build will keep on, It just don't feel like it's overwhelming right now. I don't know if it's because, inflation has hurt. I really don't understand. To be honest with you, I can't really understand it. Because I want to say that we're less on freight, but I can't tell.
Right.
It's been so hard to figure out because I know last year we had stuff building up, and like I could build like a fort almost with all the freight that was left over. Now there's not much left over, so we're pushing it out pretty hard.
Yeah, you're doing good.
So I don't know if it's, like I said, the added drivers or, the freight, we've got on top of it, or maybe the freight's going down. We'll figure that out, though, slowly but surely. After probably like January, February, we'll try to pinpoint it because February is our slow month because China shuts for 2 weeks and there's nothing really coming. It's bad, dude. It's really bad. But other than that, man, like that's about it. I did my daughter, Otis. She put in my ear. She wanted, I'm going to get her a Christmas present anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, Dad, can you get me these concert tickets? And I was like, ooh, what is it to? So it's a Rockzilla tour in Pennsylvania. So, of course, what does Dad do? Yeah, I got her a VIP section, $338 on one ticket, which hurt my heart. But if it makes her happy, I'm happy with it. She said it was something she's been trying to watch a couple of the bands for the last 8-10 years to concerts.
Gotcha.
So I'm cool with it. Like, hurts my pocket, hurts my heart, but I mean,
well, it hurts your pocket, your heart.
it hurt my heart when I pushed purchase. It hurt my heart right then and there. I was just like, oh man. And I was like,
your heart went 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, about 20 sizes too small. Actually, I think it dropped into my stomach, literally. And then I was just like, and then she made me feel really bad after that because she put a post on her Facebook saying I've been waiting 8 years, blah blah blah. So much. Thank you, Dad. Blah blah. I'm like, Jesus, you want to just rub that in a little bit harder? Want to put some the salt in the wound? But I mean, I understand it. I get it. She's still young. She's 22. Her and her guy, he lives in Pennsylvania somewhere near Pittsburgh. And she goes out, and they seem like they're doing good. I think he's good. I think he's a good guy. We'll find out. He bucks up, I'll go take a ride. You know what I mean? It's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she's happy. That's all that matters to me. So
that's good.
Yes, it is.
That's what matters.
So, I mean, other than that, like, that's the only thing that's been going on, man. Just, just putting up the inflatables, messing up podcasts. I guess you say, getting home at 10 and 11 o'clock, going to sleep. And, I mean, that's about it, to be honest with you. I mean, at least you went back to work, right?
Yeah, I went back to work. And, of course, we're down a person right now. So what we have, luckily this month is a slow month. We still have a lot of equipment to do, but not as much. I think we only had like just under 200 pieces this month between the 3 of us in Easton.
So there's 200 pieces for 3 people is about 67 pieces per.
Right.
We'll say. So with that being said, the average piece would take how long to do?
20, 30 minutes.
So what you're telling me is you could get work done in the week and just sit there the rest of the week.
I could, but most of the stuff is the issue with a lot of this stuff is not doing the preventive maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
It's finding the equipment. That's what takes a lot of the time.
Oh, so you gotta go around all
Lo-
these rooms.
Mhm,
So pretty
locating.
much you gotta walk.
Oh yeah, walk or drive because we have Cambridge, we have Queenstown, we have Centerville, and a bunch of little offsites in Easton, also.
Gotcha.
So where they're supposed to be is where we look first.
well, yeah, of course.
Then of course they say, oh yeah, we moved this over here, or I don't know where that went to.
What's the longest you ever had to search for a piece?
With finding it, because we've
Yeah, fine.
got, almost the whole month. Because a lot of like this month is a bunch of small pumps.
Yeah.
They're feeding pumps, but they're like the size of two of my fists.
Okay.
Finding
About two horse size.
Yeah.
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 There you go. Best way to put it.
So finding the right one is what makes it hard. Because once you do it, you put it back in service, and of course they could be using that in another room.
Yeah.
So you go in the room, like, oh man, I already did that one, or this one's already done, or you go somewhere else. How'd this one get up here and it's already done? No one's touched this floor yet.
So
Because they move.
okay. So my question is, how do you know it's done?
Oh, we have a sticker, a preventive maintenance sticker that says it was done this month and it's not due again until next year.
Okay. So
This month, next year.
I figured I'd ask. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I was curious.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're different color stickers, so sometimes it's easier to see
Mhm.
that, okay, if it's yellow, it was done this year. If it's green, it needs to be done.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But sometimes you can't see that from the door, and you have to, like, depending on the room, you have to put your mask. Well, you already have a mask. If it's, I'm going to say dangerous. I can't think of the word. I haven't been able to think all week.
yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Usually you're sitting there, correcting me, and I'm sitting here dropping bombs on you. You're like, what? So
But it's solitary.
Solitary.
Isolation rooms.
isolation. Okay.
When it's an isolation room, you got to put on a gown, you got to put on gloves, and then you can go in the room. Then you come
Gotcha.
back out, take it all off, wash up.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I can understand.
Sometimes the nurses help, though. That's when it gets towards the end of the month. We ask the nurses if they can help. They'll look in the rooms because they're already ready
that. Yeah.
for the rooms.
So they already know.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty much in the blind.
Yeah.
So well, that's not bad though. I mean, so you're down one. You're supposed to be down another soon, maybe.
We may be. He hasn't
Yeah,
heard
man.
yet.
So okay, I understand that. So, I mean, like I said, it's a negative positive
Mhm.
at the end of the day. Hopefully it becomes a positive, but right now it's kind of like, we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
So I understand that. But yeah, I mean, sounds like you had an eventful weekend last weekend. I had an eventful weekend last weekend, and we had a non-eventful week. Non-eventful week per se.
Mhm.
So just that's a good thing. I don't like having eventful weekends every week.
Right.
You know what I mean? It gets to the point it gets monotonous because then your mind starts going all over the place. I know that, last weekend, I want to say there was, what was it? Like everywhere I was going, it seemed like everyone was crashing. Like there was accidents everywhere. Like I don't know if they were just in a rush all the time, they were just pushing or whatever. Just seemed like there was people going crazy on the road. Thank God, a number of drivers got in accidents. Even though we did have yesterday, my manager came into the office. He went, so he lives in Milford per se. Went from Milford over to Baltimore, got the freight, come back over to Milford. He was in the office 10 minutes, and he had to go up to by the PA line, and he had to go because someone got stuck in someone's yard. Like this happens every year. We have drivers that will drive down these long lanes, and I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. It happens on a lot regularly. But the problem is, like, our drivers do not pay attention sometimes. And especially when it's wet or especially snow. Like, if there's a little bit of snow, it's a bad time. I mean, number one, some of the drivers have cargo vans, so it's rear wheel. Not good on the road. I don't know if you remember that time when we were going home from the bar, and I was in that van, and you were behind me. When we went down, I think it was Holly Road,
Yeah.
and when it was like snow and ice and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my back end was sliding when we were going 20 miles an hour. not a good feeling at all, you know, because
Oh,
you're about to piss tail.
I know that feeling.
Oh yeah, not a good feeling, and I understand where they're coming from, but I also feel like a lot of times they didn't have to get stuck in some of the situations. We've had drivers that literally have gone to like someone's house and looked at the driveway, and they're about to go up the driveway. They decide to go into a second driveway, which is not even a driveway. It's just a little indentation, and go right up someone's yard and cut their whole yard up. Oh my God, it's bad because then we had to get a landscaper out there. The company has to pay for it. It makes it worse, 100% worse. Makes it real rough. It's just it's not cost effective,
Right.
you know, and it costs a lot of time because he came from Baltimore to Milford. It's 1:10. He didn't get back till 7 o'clock.
Damn.
Yeah, it was that long because he had to go get his truck from home, come back to the station, get all the stuff like tow straps, you know, stuff like that. And they got these little things that you can put underneath the tires. Well, it's not underneath. Well, it's kind of underneath. So you put them underneath tires, and they grip into the ground, and it makes it like a little like a rough spot where you can get that tire on. It'll move it.
Yeah.
You know.
Puts traction on it.
Exactly. Traction strips, I think it was. Thank you for, correcting me on that one.
Hey,
'Cause I couldn't
got
even catch it.
something.
Hey, you're getting back to normal, okay? So, but yeah, just, it's always, something like that. So, yeah, so the Christmas season has been, sprung upon us now being in December. Everyone, from everybody's pretty much, delivering packages for Christmas or going, on the website for Christmas. Are you ready for Christmas yet?
I am ready for it to be over. I mean, we have all the gifts ready. Just got to purchase them.
I don't feel like Christmas is. When you get older, you don't feel as Christmassy per se.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I feel like the Grinch has a reason in life now. Like the more I see the Grinch, the more I understand him. They were mean to him. They were brutal, and I feel like I can relate to him. Like I was, where was I at? I was in Walmart, I believe, and I seen this little kid screaming at his mother. I want this. I want it. You're not going to get it. You got to ask Santa Claus. Just hollering and screaming. Man, let me tell you, that was my mom. She would have beat the shit out of me. Beat me till I was tired. Beat me till she was tired. Wasn't when I was tired. When she was tired. It's kind of, it's terrible to see that, because, maybe, you know what? Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe what we should do is we should produce a Christmas album of songs. Maybe that's what we should do. What do you think? Like
I'm trying to think where you're going with this.
I'm just gonna ride with it. You know what I mean? I'm riding this surf wave and keeps going because we've talked about a lot of things, off air. Let's do something different. Well, one thing we have to do, and we still are talking about and still haven't done it, we haven't signed up for the Pole Bear Plunge or either one. So I need to learn how to do that today. That is my goal. Today's goal is sign up, post it on our Instagram as well as our Facebook page and whatever pages you have set up of the 5,460 social media outlets, and definitely go with there. I mean, you're still in, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be cold.
I know.
Do you think I should get a cuddle buddy?
I think you might need one of those inflatable wrestler suits to keep warm.
I might. That's what I'm thinking more and more.
And stay afloat.
Yeah, but the problem is, I think if it gets in there, I'm going to sink. I'm going to be like a rock. Just drop right down to the bottom. And just be like, I guess this is how life is. You know what I mean?
No, you're going to float upside down. Your head's going to be underwater.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, they say shit floats, and I'm pretty much a shit. So, you know what I mean? But I totally understand where you're going with that, But I do definitely need to get that done. I can't wait no more. Because it's getting to the point we're getting, I think it's in February, wasn't it? The first week in February. We're halfway through December, make that happen. With that, it's just, I guess I need to make the time, and today is the time I make it for it. So what do you think about everything that's going on, though? Like, with, I know you've been in a couple stores. Like, do you feel like, it's not as Christmassy per se, or it's more Christmassy than usual, or what
As
do you think?
usual, they started Christmas stuff too early.
Like in May.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous how when they start. You know what I mean?
But I did start something new at my house.
Okay.
I'm calling the 25 days of gift giving,
Good.
where every day both my kids pick one of their toys that they don't play with anymore, gently used, not something broken or, just something that they have that they don't even touch.
Yeah.
They'll give me a toy. I put it in a box for 25 days, one each day. And on Christmas, well, it'll be after Christmas because, we're going to be home.
Yeah.
We're going to find like a group home or someplace. Well, we're going to find this place beforehand and give it to the kids there.
That's nice.
Which,
That's
if
nice.
anybody listening, if you know a place that will take gently used toys, please let us know. Make it easy for me.
Yeah, no
It
doubt.
is hard finding places that only want brand new toys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's toys out there for kids. Kids will play with any toys
exactly.
as long as they're clean.
And that's the thing. Like, so I'm noticing more and more. There is a issue with, I guess, finances across because of the pandemic, and
Yeah.
some people can't find work, and it's sad because I know some people that try to apply for jobs. They'll apply for the job and not hear nothing back. Which makes me wonder if it's just out there that they need help, but they just don't want to hire help. Because, I mean, there's stores that close,
Yeah.
and they say, oh, we don't ain't got no help. But I know damn well they got to have people, applying at their place.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense to me whatsoever that they're not hiring these people. With your situation, it would be nice to know where you can go with that.
Yeah.
And not just for us per se, because there's so many kids out there that need stuff like that, little things. It might just be one toy or two toy, or they've been, man, I wanted that Barbie, or I wanted that little car that I saw on TV. They never get it, and then whatever happens from there, which is, I hate to say, but money is money. It is what it is. Actually, what we're doing here is we're gonna probably a family has been adopted by the work,
Okay.
and we're gonna invest in that. Our goal is to make one of the kids very happy for Christmas. We are gonna. Looks like it's gonna be like a hell of a expenditure, but at the end of the day, I don't have no needs. No one at my house has any needs, and that's how it works.
Same.
Like if there was a need, it'd be addressed right then and there. It don't matter when it's Christmas, Thanksgiving. If if it's needed right then and there, and I have the finances, it's going to happen. No questions asked. It just goes. Everything I have here are wants. That's how I feel. I want a new TV. I want this, but I don't need it.
No.
I just need to sit back, keep my mouth full of food, just put my hand on my stomach, and fall asleep every day. That's all I really need to do because there's no wants.
And it's funny because
needs.
for the gift thing, my daughter is actually excited. She's like, "Oh, can we give this one away to some kids?" And then she's actually picking up one of her toys and like two of her brother's toys. It's like, he don't need this.
Less
she's 4.
clutter. Less clutter.
And she's 4 and she's thinking like this.
That's good. She definitely didn't get from you. So I mean, that's a good thing. Her mom told her well. But yeah, that's there's so many things out there, like not including Christmas, but the struggle for them to even have a Christmas. Christmas trees. I mean, I saw somewhere there's a shortage of Christmas trees or something.
I didn't see that.
Are
But
you sure?
then again, I don't look online.
Well, I mean, I got nothing better to do for 8 hours of my job, which is usually 12. But I want to say there was something about that now, just maybe like a week or two ago. I could be wrong. But do you really need a real Christmas tree?
I don't have one.
I don't have one either. I don't need one. I can have a little plastic or whatever.
Charlie
you call
Brown
it.
tree?
Yeah. What I mean? It's got like 3 little like sticks in it and a couple little leaves on it or whatever, and decorate with one little jingle ball and maybe a Christ Santa thing on top or whatever, and I'm happy. I'm not worried about it. Now, December, I'm not a happy person anyway. I hate Decembers. Um,
Right, and I just saw on Facebook why.
yeah. So,
Sorry, I
you
didn't
know,
mean to bring that up.
no, it's no big deal. I mean, the thing is, like, when you're younger and you never see days like that happen. So, what I'm just going to explain is,
Hmm.
12 years ago yesterday, my mom had passed. One of the hardest decisions I ever had to make. Matter of fact, actually, hands down, the hardest decision. Um, she was not feeling well one day. Um, I was somewhere, I can't remember. And she was like, I need to go to the hospital. So they went, the ambulance took her.
Yeah.
So she called me. I was asleep. She called me twice. I didn't get the phone. She called my brother. My brother went to go pick her up. Brother picks her up. They get, I don't even, maybe a quarter mile from the hospital. Heart attack right there, right in the vehicle. After they said she was fine. So she has a heart attack. They take her back. She's coded now. No heartbeat, no nothing. And I do want to say, and I want to say, like, I don't know how to probably put it in words, but the staff at Milford Memorial Hospital 12 years ago on that day at night performed CPR around 45 minutes straight. And they brought her back. That's phenomenal. I 3 minutes of CPR, you already worked.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's consistent.
Yeah.
So, like, I got over there, whatever. The next day, I want to say it was the next day, couldn't find out she had, so they open your eyes to see if there's, like, some kind of electrons or something. I can't remember exactly what the terminology was, but to see if there was any, like, brain functioning. And I remember my brother saying, they're going to ask to pull the plug. And I was just like, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do this. Because, like, in your mind, you don't want to make that decision.
Yeah.
That's a tough decision. Regardless, even though your mom's told you, I don't ever want to be a vegetable. Mentally, like, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. And I remember sitting there talking to the doctor, and I'm like, listen, you tell me, what do you see? I remember him opening her eyes, looking in her eyes and everything. He was like, to be dead honest with you, I mean, she's going to be on life support. There ain't much can be done. I was like, so what you're telling me is this. So we can keep her on this life support, and, maybe she comes out of it, or probably won't, because you're saying there's no brain,
No brain function.
functions. And I'm like, well, I sat back and I was like, man, I really don't want to do this. And I kept on thinking to myself, no, I don't want to do this. And I was like, I remember my brother saying, this is what's best for her. And I was just like, you're right. And I was like, we'll do it. So I remember we pulled the plug. I want to say it was 8 hours later she deceased.
Hmm.
And to be honest with you, to this day, I've made a lot of decisions, but I've never felt so guilty about a decision like that. It's a decision that, regardless what the person wants in your mind, there's that little bit of selfishness
Yeah.
that you don't want to see someone that literally raised you from nothing to this, and you feel that I can't let her go. And I had to make the right decision. And I mean, overall, I did make the right decision. At the end of the day, though, it don't make it no easier. It doesn't make it, but the thing is, they sit there and say, how many times you hear people, if it don't kill you, it only makes you stronger. That's a lie. That's a complete and utter lie. Because there's days that, like, I'll drive and just be like, I wonder what mom would think. Or, or you make a decision like, I wonder if mom would be happy. Or, or my dad be happy, because, that's another thing, he died the same month, so December's not been about, like, he died the 23rd. So literally,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
yep, that he
I remember that whole with your mom. And,
Yep. So 2 days before Christmas, I think it was 23rd. Don't I think it's 23rd. I so all day yesterday, I remember waking up thinking about it, and I let it go, and then like all day at work, I felt off, just nothing, just felt weird, and I was just like, man, something's bothering me real bad, and then I got into the car, coming home, and I was like, now I know what it was, 100%. Like I didn't think it was affecting me that much. It's funny because it's not funny, but I keep on saying stuff that when it's not funny, I say it's funny, but when you get older, things affect you more.
Mhm.
Because I think you start getting more like to the point where you understand more, and your feelings and emotions kind of get involved as well. And I mean, it was okay drive. I kind of do appreciate anyone that reached out to me. There was a couple people. Love you for that, but it's weird. Just like last year it affected me a little bit. This year it affected me a lot more than the usual. Maybe it's because I'm old and decrepit. Maybe I'm about to kick the bucket soon. Yes, that's where I'm at, baby. I still got to get a plot though. But anyway, but hey, listen, we always got to remember, there's other people involved, regardless, and our kids. I don't want to leave them with a mess behind them. And my mom didn't. Whatever she did, she took care of all the loose ends. There's more to that story. Maybe some other time we'll get involved with it. But overall, man, it was a rough day yesterday. But at the same token, I saved some money on my insurance. Just want to let you know that.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
That's how you handle stuff. You just go into something else to make try to make light of the situation. It's not when you're dealing with it and trying to make light of it to get out of that mood. Because when
Right.
you're in that mood, like your mindset goes different. And then how do you pull yourself out of it? What do you do? What is your mechanism? What is your vice? Some people's vices is smoke cigarettes, drinking, heroin, drugs, whatever, My vice is cigarettes, Mountain Dew, and crack a joke.
And saving money on your insurance.
Yeah,
Got
save money on my insurance. There we go. That's what it's all about,
15% or more or less? No.
Probably less, of course, because I'm a maniac on the road, because it just seems like it's that way, But overall, I mean, yeah, like I said, yesterday was tough, but at the end of the day, we're here, and we're here to reach out to anybody that wants help, needs help, wants to talk, wants to speak, come on a show, wants to, got to be over 18 though. Over 18. That is something we're really strict on. I don't think we should have anybody under 18 on this show, period. With that being said as well, anybody that, feels lonely or, hungry, even if you're hungry, man, we might just even cook your food. What do you think?
Yeah.
If they get the food and cook it themselves, we'll eat it for them.
Oh, yeah, we definitely.
Oh, yeah, I'm 100% in with that,
Yeah.
Get some love from somewheres, right? But, I mean, it's just, how it goes. But, any last words for today?
No, just it's been a hell of a ride so far,
Yes.
this podcast, and just again apologizing for last week's missing hidden episode wherever that landed in the interwebs.
Might be on the dark web.
It might be on the dark web. Someone has stolen it.
Yes. They're like this guy, Ron and John. We're going to find him. We
I
got to
only
find
hear
him.
Ron.
Yeah, that's the worst part. You know what I mean? So I'm good as going. but yeah, I mean, it's been a ride. I mean, so you figure 18 weeks, 19, 20 weeks, because we missed 2. So 20 weeks, we're almost 5 months in. I'm happy where we're at.
Mhm.
There's always room for improvements.
Yeah.
And where we're going in the near future, because I think 2023 we're going to have a lot of stuff going on, and it's going to be not just podcasting. There's going to be other things involved. Maybe who knows? We'll have a big thing on YouTube. Maybe a big thing out here. Might have our own businesses. Just a lot of things planning that we're planning for. Hopefully they'll go through. If they don't,
We'll keep trying.
got to keep trying, because at the end of the day, man, you can't be successful if you don't try. You know, that's one thing. You know, anybody can say, you know, you're never going to be nothing. If you don't try, you won't be nothing. You'll just be whatever. You know, you don't want everyone to make that decision for you. You make that decision.
Right.
You know, and so, like, at the end of the day, man, like I always say, it is what it is. If you ain't got haters, which I'm starting to realize, we got a couple.
We may, but whatever.
That means we're not living life right. So for me and John,
No, that means we are living life right.
Oh God, I am. See, this is what I hate. You put me in a somber mood. Like when you brought that up, I was like, which, you know, it was gonna be talked about. That's fine, but it's okay. It is what it is. If you ain't got haters, you ain't living life right. Because we are living life right. We're enjoying ourselves. We're on the patio of La France, La Gates Estates, and we're enjoying ourselves. So, from me, Ron,
And me, John.
I want to say you have a great weekend.
And have a good night.